78.
Erin Byers' kitchen is now a classroom.
80. I want you to write an F.
She just unenrolled 5-year-old John from a public school in Fairfax County, Virginia.
Virtual wasn't working.
Virtual was not working.
John is slightly delayed. He started speaking last year.
The meanness that I had to use to keep him on that computer screen sometimes, or force him to pick up a pen, it just wasn't worth it. 6, 7,
So
8.
let's verify. Are public schools seeing a decline in enrollment, and could they lose millions of dollars in funding? Our sources: Fairfax, Prince George's, and Montgomery County schools, and 3 education experts. Data from FCPS shows enrollment this school year is down 5% overall and 8% for elementary schools. It's a trend nationwide.
Why do you think we're seeing those declines?
Virtual learning is hard.
Kristen Blagg researches education policy.
Parents may feel that they're not fully equipped to help their student if they're virtually learning and may want to opt for an alternative option.
And that's really concerning.
Derek Turner works with Montgomery County, Maryland Public Schools. Enrollment is down nearly 3,000 students.
Do you expect the numbers to bounce back?
We do, if we have a vaccine in place and we have all the protocols in place.
But our experts confirm most states, including Maryland, tie enrollment to school funding. So if students leave now, funding may drop next year.
It would be millions upon millions of dollars for our school system and to serve our students. And again, if we see that increase in students next year, we won't have the funding to meet the needs of those new students.
Some districts are now asking states to use last year's enrollment, but those states are already facing budget problems from COVID.
I think that there is a very firm possibility that states will use the fact that enrollment is declining in public schools in order to take the cuts.
Rebecca Sibilia is an expert on public school funding.
If that happens, our neediest public schools are likely to suffer the most.
Areas with less wealth typically rely more on state funds for public schools. Compare Montgomery County, Maryland to nearby Prince George's County, where census data shows the average income is 32% lower. They receive nearly twice as much state funding per student.
So we are expecting a sharp decrease in our overall funding for next year.
Mike Herbstman is the Chief Financial Officer for PGCPS. With enrollment down 1,700 students, they're set to lose $34.6 million.
Just because of the enrollment.
Yes, that's correct.
And with other state funds set to end, Herbstman says they may face a $170 million budget gap next year. They're now looking at hiring and overtime freezes, cutting down discretionary spending, and dipping into savings.
There is definitely reason to be concerned that there will be fewer services available next year.
Cool robots, Moby.
That could affect families like Yvette Reyes and her daughter Lisette. Yvette is a single mom and essential worker in Prince George's County.
What's been the toughest part of virtual learning?
Getting the work done.
7-year-old Lisette does most of her classwork alone.
Makes my hands tired. And my arms too.
If I had an increase to where I can pay the tuition for private school, I wouldn't hesitate not one bit about it.
But that's not an option. So she's waiting out virtual learning, hoping her daughter's school doesn't take a huge hit.
I can't do it. I can't sacrifice her education for our financial stability.
So we can verify, yes, public school districts are seeing a drop in enrollment, and it could cost them millions.
Science, social studies.
How bad it could be, we may not know for months.
What could that mean for your daughter's education?
She's going to be missing on a lot.
With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.